welcome to another episode of Spectacular Magazine Shorts. I am Santisha Walker, your host today, and I am in for Phyllis Coley. Thank you all for joining us. Today we have Ms. Bertha Williams, who is the president of Central Carolina Black Nurses Council. And so we're going to be referring to the organization as CCBNC going forward. And so how are you doing today, Ms. Williams?
I am doing great.
Awesome. Happy to hear it. Thank you so much again for taking time to speak with us and allowing us to highlight your organization and what you all are doing in the actually throughout North Carolina, correct? Or is it just centered in the Raleigh-Durham area?
Well, we actually have two other chapters, so it's really throughout North Carolina.
Awesome. Awesome. So with that being said, tell us a little bit about you as well as CCBNC.
Okay, I'll start with me. I've been a nurse for a long time.
Okay.
I've lost track of how many years, but I got my start, my undergraduate degree from Winston-Salem State University.
Go
and
Rams.
Then after, I am a Ram, yes. So then I started working at Duke, and I spent 25 years there, working in different specialties, and then from there I decided to go to California. We were having the nursing shortage around 2000.
Okay.
I went to California, worked for 5.5 years, recruiting international nurses, and then I decided to come back, and I got my master's in nursing from Duke, and I also got my MBA from North Carolina Central University.
Okay.
So in the course of my career, I have been involved with CCBNC since 1995.
Wow.
One of my mentors, Mary Baldwin, was in an administrative position at Duke at the time and invited me to a meeting. And I went to a meeting, and then she said, "You've got to go to the national conference, the National Black Nurses Conference." And the first conference I went to was in Florida.
Oh.
And I was just in awe of all of these professional nursing men and women, the positions they held, the things that they were doing, and I was hooked.
And then the fact that they were Black helped, I'm sure, it's your people.
And the fact that they were Black like me.
Yes.
Because I've been in a predominantly white environment. And so to go and hear these wonderful stories of how they got to be COOs, CEOs, directors of nursing, that they were educators doing research and all of that. So for me, it was a decision, a conscious decision that I needed to join this group and that I needed to provide something to my community. And that is how I got my start with CCBNC. Okay.
And so again, as of now, you're serving as the president of the organization. So how long have you been in the presidential role?
This is my 4th term as president. Each term is 2 years, and I started out 1996. I did my first term, and then I did a second term, so I did 4 years. We had other people in between, and we were a smaller organization back then. And then I did another term, and now this is my 4th. So this was, in 2021, I'm going into my 8th year.
Wow.
So it's time for young people to step up and become president. So hopefully we are mentoring some of our younger members to move into the presidency.
Awesome. So you say younger members. So what is the average, I guess, age of the member of CCBNC?
Well, right now we have a broad range, I'm so happy to say. In the past, we've had members who are more 40-ish, 50-ish. Now we have students who are are joining our Zoom meetings, our virtual meetings, and they started with us before. We're mentoring nursing students from UNC Chapel Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Shelda Rogers is working with a group there, and we're part of a grant there, which we're really excited about. But also, we're working with the Duke RN to BSN program, and Dr. Bridget Carter is
Mm-hmm.
member, and she is a part of that group. So, and then we have the North Carolina Central University as well as Durham Tech. So we're welcoming all of these students, hoping that with mentoring and having them getting excited about CCBNC,
Yeah.
joining NBNA, that they will be our future members.
Awesome.
But we also have young members that have gone from being students and are now members. So we're getting a broader range of members, which is really exciting for us.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. So you mentioned students. I do want to ask about the scholarship program, which appears to play a major role within the organization. So tell us a little bit about that. Is it just for, like, if someone was interested in receiving a scholarship, is it just for high school seniors who are going on to be nurses? Is it those that are in nursing school, those who are getting advanced degrees? So exactly tell us a little bit more about that program.
Well, they must be in a nursing program.
Okay.
That is the number one requirement. They have to fill out the application. They have to write an essay telling us why they're interested in nursing, what their career goals are. Yeah. And we have named a couple of our scholarships after our previous members. One is the Dorothy Cox, who was one of the founding members, who was just a wonderful person. And then Patricia Ruffin is another scholarship that we give. So we give those two. But in addition to that, we give stipends. We help students, with supplies and books. So that is one of our major things that we do each year.
Wonderful. So you mentioned Dorothy Davis Cox Fisher. So going back to the foundation, right, of CCBNC in 1982. So it appears that she wanted to mirror, right, the vision and philosophy of the National Black Nurses Association and tailor to the needs of the local community. So what would you say, do you feel that you all are still tailoring to the community needs in the same capacity, especially now during this pandemic? Like, has there been any change from the foundation to now?
We are absolutely mirroring the National Black Nurses goals. Our belief, number one, is that all Americans should have access to optimal health care. And that includes African Americans as well as other minorities. Okay. And we all know that there is healthcare disparity between the majority and African Americans and other minorities. So our major focus, along with NBNA, is to decrease those disparities. And we do that in a number of ways. We do that by, as nurses, becoming involved and sharing expertise with mentoring. For example, we were involved in the BABES program, BABES, which is Bodies of Beautiful Entities. These were young pregnant moms, and we helped them in terms of supplies, with connecting them with services like at Lincoln Community Health Center. But also we mentored those young ladies. We wanted them to know, because you have a baby as a single mom, it does not mean that your life ends here. Right. And so it was one of our really, really exciting things that we did. But in addition to that, we're mentoring nursing students, as I said before. And we're also involved now with the pandemic. And we have one of our members who's Asian American, who gained access to PPEs or masks specifically. And of course, in the beginning, people had problems getting masks. So we were able to get a large number of masks and distribute them throughout the community. to student nurses, to people through the churches, through other organizations. So that's a big thing that we've done through the pandemic. We also get involved with food banks in terms of making sure that we work with those organizations in providing supplies. Also, though, working at the food banks with the distribution.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, so you all, and that was, I guess, a question I had as well, because I'm not sure if our viewers know, but you all are celebrating your 30th anniversary this year. Is that right?
We are celebrating our 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
Now, let me explain. We have been in existence for 38 years,
Okay.
but we started our scholarship and our Lecture-Luncheon 30 years ago.
Okay.
So we have to clarify that.
Okay.
And normally what we do, this was going to be a big year of celebration with us, but of course the pandemic put a damper on that.
Yeah.
But the plan was to have Martha Dawson, who is president of National Black Nurses Association, come and be our speaker. And she was just going to talk about being resilient, with nurses just being resilient in the time of the pandemic. And everybody knows that the pressure that this has put on healthcare workers with people getting COVID. And so we just wanted to have our national president come and talk about that. But of course, we were not able to gather.
Right.
So this is part of what we're doing is with Spectrum. We thank you for allowing us to get the word out about us, about the things that we're doing and that we will continue to do.
Okay. And so if someone in the community wants to celebrate with you all, are you offering the opportunity for partnership? You mentioned Spectrum, but if someone, feels you all are an amazing organization, which is what you are, how can they reach out and be a part of that 30th anniversary celebration? Do you have?
Well, yes, some people have already contributed, and some organizations, some financial support to us, which further helps us provide scholarships. So we're continuing, and we've selected recipients of our scholarship. So contributed funds to that. And we really want people to know about us existing as an organization.
Yeah.
That is the main thing. And people ask the question, why? Why do you have an African-American organization? We get that all the time. And so I like to share the history with people, the fact that back in the day, African-Americans were not really welcome into the American Nurses Association. So as a result of that, we wanted to be able to support each other professionally, but also we felt that we were the best people to know what the issues were in our community, and we were the best people to help address those issues. And so that is how we came into being, and we continue to meet that need because, as I said, there's still that disparity. So a number of us are part of the other organizations as well. There are a lot of specialty organizations, but there's a need for Central Carolina Black Nurses Council. So I don't want people to lose sight of that. And we're always inviting people to come and learn about us, join us in a virtual meeting now, and hopefully in 2021 to join us in person and get to know us and all the things that we're doing.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you all are giving voice to the health disparities within the minority community, which a large part of that is African American. So that's really important. So you mentioned the Lecture-Luncheon that usually takes place in December. So you all are having a virtual luncheon this year?
No, we're not. We're totally. We considered that, but it just, we were not able to do that. So we decided not to do that. We will be having a retreat in January 2021. And we have just celebrate it among ourselves. We're doing this interview, and we're not going out like we usually would, but in 2021.
Tell us about this retreat.
Okay, at our retreat is where we really look back at what is it that we have done, okay? And when we look back, we find that we've done a lot, not only as an organization, but when you look at the makeup of our membership, we have people who are clinicians at the bedside. We have educators. We have people with doctorates. Ernest Grant, president of ANA, has been a member of our organization. The faculty at NCCU, and I mentioned the faculty at Duke, the faculty at UNC, and just people who are doing wonderful things, people who are heading up organizations. So when you look at us, we're going beyond CCBNC. So what we do is partner with churches. We've accomplished a lot with churches. As you know, if you get the pastor on board,
you got the whole congregation.
The whole congregation, right? So we go in and we talk to people about their health. With the pandemic, people are afraid to go to the doctor, right?
Yeah.
So we're telling you still got to take care of yourself. You still got to check your blood pressure. We check their blood pressure. We check their blood sugars. We talk to them just about taking care of themselves. And again, before the pandemic, we were involved with the women's health fair that takes place at NCCU. Didn't have that this year. And then the men's health through Duke. So these, the pandemic has just changed a lot for us. So we're looking forward to 2021 so that we can get back together and do all these wonderful things.
And wonderful things they are, my goodness. So I do want to real quickly, you mentioned health education, right? So you all offer a lot of education and health tips. I saw that on your website. So where can this information be found online? Is it just on your website, or can they subscribe to a newsletter? And then are there any other platforms that these tips are being shared? Because you guys provide education on pretty much every topic related to healthcare.
Yes. We are a partner with the Community Health Coalition, Dr. Elaine Hot Brothers, and she and her organization provide these wonderful health tips from practitioners, and we post it on our website. So our website is www.ccbnc.nursing.network. Okay, so they can go there and they can get the health tips, but also the Community Health Coalition provides that. But just go to our website. It is there, and the tips are just wonderful.
Yes, they are. I couldn't leave the website. Like, I gotta go. But it was just so much information that you all were providing. So, and then I guess you can kind of sum up in general, what would you say is the major takeaway for nurses from your organization? Because, and from when I got a feel for you guys, you cater to nurses, right? Because we love to serve and this is what we do, but you also cater to the community because you want to decrease those health disparities. So what would you say would be the major takeaway for nurses? And then what would you say would be the major takeaway for the community in regards to CCBNC?
Well, for nurses, what I would like to say is African-American nurses, you do not have to feel isolated. We are here, and we are such a diverse group of nurses. We're here to support, we're here to listen. And I remember just feeling alone after I graduated and started to practice as a nurse. So my takeaway to nurses is, please come and join us. Please come and be as active as you can be to our different events that we participate in, the events that we partner with, and participate to the level that you can participate. Now, that's the first part. And what was the second question you asked?
So what would be the takeaway for the community as far as what you...
God. For the community, that we are out, we're involved, we're going to facilities. Invite us, please, to come provide health fairs, to participate in health fairs, to educate people, especially African Americans, about the risks associated with high blood pressure, with diabetes, kidney failure. You know, you see a lot of us on dialysis, right?
Yes.
So we are always willing to talk to people about research participation. Older African Americans, and I include my grandfather in this, who is dead, remember the Tuskegee incident, right? The research that was done on African Americans. And this does deter some people from participating in research, but as a group, we need to participate in research. We need to become organ donors. We need to do better about taking care of ourselves. African Americans and minorities are generally famous for taking care of everybody else, especially nurses and other people as well. But we also advocate that people take care of themselves, and we provide means and information of how they can do that.
That is wonderful. You all are a one-stop shop. So you mentioned the retreat. What would you say is next for Central Carolina Black Nurses Council in the coming years, especially post-COVID? Because, you know, like you said, a lot of people are skeptical about healthcare, especially when it comes to the vaccine that's coming out, right? So what do you see the organization being in the coming years?
Well, beginning now with COVID, we want to get out and talk to people about the vaccine, because people do have different ideas and different beliefs. Will they take it? Will they not take it?
Yeah.
So we really want to give out information and not have people operating on a lot of myths. That's number one. Secondly, we're hoping with this vaccine that 2021 will allow us to get back out, right? Because we are hampered by the fact that we are not able to move about in the community. So hopefully 2021, we can get back out in the community. We're people, we love people. So we want to do what we do. We want to make a difference in folks in terms of how they take care of themselves, their health care. I would like to see young nurses who are right on the line with providing care be able to take a breath and recover. 2020 has been a hard year on healthcare workers. And I would like to see them be able to take a breath and us come together and just talking about and reflecting on 2020 and moving forward with 2021. Yes,
I think that's the crux of what we need in this time. So really quickly, you mentioned there are 2 other chapters in North Carolina, or is there?
There is a chapter, Sand Hill, Fayetteville, and there's also a triad chapter, which is the Winston-Salem, Greensboro, High Point. They're fairly new. Central Carolina Black Nurses has been in existence since 1982. So we're the oldest, and at one time we did cover the entire state, but now we have sister organizations as well.
Wonderful. Growth is always good. So again, how do nurses become a member of the organization CCBNC?
They can go to our website, www.ccbnc.nursing.network. Okay, if they go there, the application is there, information is there. They can contact me, my phone number's there, as well as a membership chair, who is Catrice Hester, and we would welcome them.
Wonderful.
Go to the website.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you again for taking time to join us today and to speak with us. I'm glad we were able to finally connect.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So again, to find out more about Central Carolina Black Nurses Council, visit www.ccbnc
Dot nursing
Nursing Network
network, one word,
uh-huh,
dot com.
.com. So there is that .com on the end. I was going to ask you that.
Yes, there is.
Okay, so ccbnc.nursingnetwork.com. And thank you so much again for your time, Bertha Williams. So again, I am Santisha Walker, your host today for Spectacular Magazine Shorts, and I'm stepping in for Phyllis Coley. Thank you all again for your time, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.
Spectacular Magazine. We on the scene.